Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes. Judicial pay and court funding were highlighted in remarks made by Ohio Supreme Court Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor during her State of the Judiciary address on August 28th, where she spoke to nearly 300 judges at the Ohio Judicial Conference in Columbus. Chief Justice O'Connor said judicial salaries have not been adjusted since 2008, when a statute providing for annual adjustments expired.
Choosing a career in public service should not mean being saddled with a stagnant salary for the entire time or the majority of the time that you spend on the bench. This amount of time without a pay raise is far too long.
Chief Justice O'Connor said she's worried judges will switch to private practice to make a better living, and that attorneys won't even consider becoming a judge due to current judges' salaries.
It is extremely troubling, and that translates into some real losses within the judicial family across this state.
The Chief Justice also addressed court funding during her speech. She said the task force on the funding of Ohio's courts has estimated that it costs more than $1 billion to operate the state's courts.
At first glance, that may seem like a lot, $1.1 billion. But with a closer look and in comparison with other sections of government, it truly is not. Given the constitutional and statutory obligations required of Ohio courts and their programmatic initiatives, it's not a stretch to say, quite possibly, that Ohio courts are underfunded.
In addition, Chief Justice O'Connor explained about the 11-member task force on access to justice that helps identify obstacles for low-income and disadvantaged Ohioans going through the judicial system. The judicial branch should be proud, the Chief Justice concluded, for its successful and innovative programs that better serve Ohioans. She urged judges to share these success stories with their communities. The Ohio Supreme Court on August 27th denied a request from Plunder Bund Media asking the court to order the Ohio Department of Public Safety to release information about threats made against Governor John Kasich. In its unanimous decision, the court determined that records about threats against the governor are used to protect the governor, his staff, and family, and ruled that these threats qualify under Ohio's public records law as security records, which are exempt from disclosure.
A Cuyahoga County judge is disqualified from acting as a judge pending the outcome of a felony indictment. This is the third Ohio judge disqualified by the Ohio Supreme Court in less than a year. On August 26, the court issued an order against Common Pleas Court Judge Lance Mason. Mason was indicted by a grand jury for felonious assault and kidnapping after a domestic violence altercation with his wife. Other Ohio judges recently disqualified were Hamilton County Juvenile Court Judge Tracy Hunter and Bedford Municipal Court Judge Harry Jacob III. Hunter was disqualified in January from acting as a judge because of an 8-count felony indictment for tampering with evidence, forgery, and theft in office. The Ohio Supreme Court disqualified Jacob in December because of his felony indictment for bribery and promoting prostitution. Judges are disqualified from acting as a judge while there is a pending indictment or if he or she is charged with a felony crime.
A graduate nervously addresses Licking County Municipal Court Judge David Stansberry and the Licking County Intervention for Treatment, or LIFT, drug court. LIFT is for offenders who qualify for specialized drug treatment programming while on community control supervision. Andrea Morrison watches from the audience, remembering her own drug court graduation just months ago.
It's nice for the reminder of where I've come from and how far I have come, because there are times that I forget how bad it really was because of how dramatically a difference it made in my life and how different it is today.
The difference is striking for those who know her. Before she went through drug court, Andrea's brother Michael got so tired of seeing her passed out and the problems her addiction caused in the family that he cut off contact with her. Today, Michael is proud of what Andrea has accomplished to turn her life around.
I don't know the success rate, but I don't care if it's 1% because I got my 1%.
You really do change lives. You take people who are broken and that are hopeless and feel powerless over their place in life, and you give them a chance to fix all that.
Andrea is glad that Judge Stansberry and the LIFT treatment team took the chance on her.
It absolutely saved my life. I know I am forever grateful. I never could have imagined my life being what it is today, and I want that for somebody else.
That's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.